Earlier today, in a well-coordinated sweep, federal, state, and local law enforcement officers slammed a door on a major Central Valley-based gang and narcotics trafficking organization operating across several states and with significant links to the Nuestra Familia prison gang. As of this moment, 41 people have been arrested, $83,000 seized, 72.5 pounds of methamphetamine, 6 pounds of cocaine, 20 firearms, a number of vehicles, as you've seen out in the parking lot, and we expect maybe even some houses will be forfeited. We want to emphasize that those taken down today were bigger fish than those sometimes netted in these kinds of operations. Many were pivotal members of Norteño criminal street gangs, some operating in cooperation with Nuestra Familia prison direction. The success of today's action was the result of more than 6 months of painstaking investigation using the combined resources of Merced County Narcotics and Gang Task Force, the State Bureau of Investigation, and the federal DEA. Those who were arrested today face a wide range of felony charges involving narcotics trafficking, weapons possession, conspiracy, and gang enhancements. Agents seized money, guns, expensive cars, and maybe even houses as part of the investigation. We intend to send those convicted of these crimes to state prison for lengthy sentences and forfeit their illicit property. As is often the case, we didn't get everyone. We never do. Like cockroaches, those who traffic in narcotics, violence, and misery and escape today's raids will scurry for cover in darkness and try to regroup. But they were hit hard today, and our streets and communities will be safer as a result.
I can tell you, as the evidence will show in this case, these criminal organizations are collaborating together in terms of how they're committing their crimes, and it's essential that we do the same in order to effectively deal with this issue. Very violent and dangerous groups. I think the evidence has shown through a series of these investigations that have been done in Northern California, in particular here in the Central Valley, the very strong nexus between the street gangs, which are working in collaboration with our prison gangs, the Nuestra Familia in this case, along with the Norteños, as well as with transnational criminal organizations, the Mexican drug trafficking organizations that are importing drugs into California, distributing it throughout the state, and then also in an interstate. In this case, there were connections for drug trafficking that were reached out of California into the states of Tennessee and Arkansas, for example. So, the Attorney General's office recently released a report titled Gangs Beyond Borders, California and the Fight Against Transnational Criminal Organizations. And in that report, it documented, really, which is the first comprehensive report that's been done on this, showing the link between these criminal organizations and the fact that this is a growing or expanding threat that we all face, and offered up a number of solutions. Today is an example of exactly one of those, that law enforcement needs to work more collaboratively together in terms of addressing these issues. So I think the message is clear that we're sending out to those who are involved in these organizations and those who may be considering doing this, is that if you get involved in these types of operations, that really you're only going to be promised, one of two things. That's either going to be a lifetime of incarceration or probably an early death, and that's a fate that meets many of these folks. So the message is not to get involved in this, because we're not going anywhere. We're going to continue to work better and smarter as we go forward. Our commitment in the Department of Justice is to continue to work and support in cooperation with law enforcement, and we will continue to do that.
Our part of the operation, the federal operation, consisted of arrests of 6 defendants today. 5 of them were taken into custody here in California. 1 was taken into custody in Arkansas. This was a very sophisticated, multi-state methamphetamine distributing organization. I want to give my compliments to the DEA for an outstanding job, both here in California and in other states where this investigation was underway. They had a number of telephone intercepts that were up. They also supported a number of state intercepts. There was investigation in multiple states to lead to the takedown today. As Kent Shaw mentioned a few moments ago, we on the federal side, along with the California Attorney General's office, the Bureau of Investigations, have been involved with our county and local allies up and down the valley now, with several similar takedowns in recent years targeting the Nuestra Familia and its Norteño allies who are involved in drug trafficking of the sort that was a focus today here in Merced County. We've participated in takedowns in Hanford, in Visalia, in Los Banos, and elsewhere. And I was in Fresno earlier this afternoon to talk about the results of the federal prosecutions that followed from some of those takedowns. And I think this is a very timely takedown here in Merced today, because looking forward, we've seen what's happened in these other cases. On the federal level, in the last 2 to 3 years, we have now obtained sentences on 69 members of the Nuestra Familia and its affiliates. I think 46 of those, if I'm not mistaken, have already received sentences of 10 years or more. And those are sentences which, under federal law, they are required to serve at least 85% of the time imposed. So they're very significant sentences. We've also forfeited a good deal of property, and I expect that there will be similar results in this case.
Just like to point out, in a DEA case, the day of the search warrant does not indicate the end of the case. For us, this is just a step in the case. So what we do from here is we exploit everything we got, every piece of evidence that's on the table, we take a look at. Every guy who's sitting in jail today, we'll try to talk to. Everything he had in his pockets, we'll go through, and we'll keep pushing this. This organization had ties across the country, and they have contacts in multiple other states. Well, so do we. And you know, their compatriots are a phone call away, and so are agents in other states and sheriff's deputies in Arkansas and Missouri and elsewhere. So for us, especially in this part of the country, especially in the Central Valley, working with state and locals is what we do. It's the most successful thing we've ever done, and continue to look forward to it. And this is just I've been on 27 years, and this is an example, but an excellent example of the kind of work that can be done here.
And as not only the sheriff coroner of the county, but as a community member, I too would like to express my gratitude to the many, many officials that were able to make this mission happen, and to the members of the community that support those officials in their efforts. I think this is what's right about collaborative missions like this. I get as frustrated as anyone about government bureaucracy, but this is the perfect model of local, state, and federal agencies from throughout California and the United States working together to put some very dangerous people away.